1 decade ago, when I was still getting ID'd at the bar, an unheard of little startup released a 93-second ad filmed in 1 day with a mere budget of $4,500. That ad broke their website, launched a $1 million business, and still lives rent-free in the minds of millennials to this day. This is a David meets Goliath story, a puny little internet-based direct-to-consumer startup slicing the heels of one of the largest old titans in the business. But on their way to success and victory, the company may have become the evil that they set out to defeat. Since the release of that first ad, which if you don't remember, you are probably younger than our typical demographics on this channel, so welcome and consider subscribing. Dollar Shave Club co-founder and former CEO Michael Durbin has become pretty much a celebrity for his offbeat sense of humor and has been viewed over 27 million times in just that video alone. It is rare to see the company leader record their own advertisements, and Durbin's absolutely perfect deadpan delivery was exactly what Dollar Shave Club needed to be seen as an authentic, everyman sort of product that understood what their consumers wanted.
Your handsome-ass grandfather had one blade and polio. Looking good, pop up!
But the genius of the video goes so much deeper than just providing the viewer with a funny video and an impulsive desire to share it with everyone they know. The video gave the consumer an opportunity to give the middle finger to someone they hated, and that was Gillette. At the time, 90% of the razor market was dominated by two companies, Gillette and Schick, with Gillette controlling a whopping 70% of the entire US razor market. Gillette was untouchable, the Goliath of the razor business, and free to terrorize the little folk with insane prices, and they definitely did. We've talked about this a little bit before in our Keurig video, but Gillette popularized what is now literally called the razor blade business model, selling a cheap base product and then gouging the consumer on refills. They lure you in with a reasonably priced or even free handle, and then you end up paying a ridiculous amount of money for the replacement cartridges. Things were even worse about a decade ago. Without any serious competitors in the realm of half-decent razors, Gillette didn't have much motivation to lower their prices. Generally speaking, it was either them or a dollar store shaver, which offered a serious risk of lacerations to the throat if you weren't careful.
Other than that, I'm in good shape.
Back in 2010, Dubbin was griping about the price of razor blade cartridges with a random dude at a party when they both realized that they jointly had the ability to do something about it. And that is how Dubbin found himself another Dollar Shave Club co-founder, Mark Levine, a friend with a dad in a background in manufacturing and a literal warehouse full of razors, apparently. See, Dubbin was, yes, a student taking improv classes for the last 8 years, but he also had a long-standing interest in business and advertising. Dubbin is the definition of the fake it until you make it, and this mentality in particular paid off big time in this situation. The key here wasn't just to make a funny video that people wanted to watch and share, but to offer something irresistible in a way that converts viewers to buyers. And the Dollar Shave Club offer was undeniably impressive. The concept, of course, is in the name. For $1 a month, you could get a razor delivered to your door. It is such a simple message and a promise that pretty much anyone could get behind, which is probably why within a day of releasing that ad, the company received so many hits, it crashed their website. Now, of course, the product was never truly $1 a month.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Sure, some of their razors were technically priced at that rate, before shipping of course, but nobody was expected to buy their cheapest product. Rather, in another stroke of marketing genius, the company originally offered only 3 tiers, $1, $6, and $9. The $1 tier drew people in. The $9 option was there specifically as what is called a decoy to lure people to that juicy $6 middle ground. But even then, $6 for a 4-bladed razor was a steal compared to Gillette's $5 per razor Fusion Pro Glide option at the time. Even with the $9 top tier, it was still cheaper than the competitors. Now, of course, the blades weren't actually great, to put it gently. Gillette actually fairly consistently outperforms pretty much all other shaves in reviews, but how many of us really need a $150 heated razor with adjustable temperatures and all the best blades modern technology has to offer? Dollar Shave Club offers that in-between for people who want to save a buck without completely throwing quality out the window. So how did they cut these costs? Maybe Gillette was expensive for a reason, if they are indeed better. Probably one of the biggest reasons Dollar Shave Club was able to cut on costs early on was by taking on a lot of the work themselves. Design, shipping, manufacturing, and of course marketing was all done in-house. Compared to the monstrous marketing budgets of Gillette, Dubin was able to get the word out for his product with minimal expenditures, doing a lot of the work himself, including the website's witty copywriting. But probably most notably, Dollar Shave Club was an early adopter of what is known as a direct-to-consumer business model. In the beginning, their business was totally online, which meant that they saved huge on things like third-party retailers. We're used to delivery service like this now, especially since COVID, but this was way more of a risky move back in 2012 when people were accustomed to holding physical products in their hands before buying them. But as we now know today, apparently people were ready for it. With a whole new generation of digital natives with a taste for cheap and convenient products, the 2010s were pretty much the perfect time for startups like this to begin challenging the status quo. Within 2 years, Dollar Shave Club claimed 10% of the market with its 3.2 million subscribers. By 2016, they had already expanded their product line to things like skincare and personal wipes, and their sales were close to $200 million a year, at which point Unilever decided to buy them for $1 billion. It's a pretty impressive story. In just 5 years, Dollar Shave Club had become America's second largest seller of men's razors, which is kind of crazy considering their competitor was selling razors since 1903. Eventually, Gillette even sued them for stealing the patent, so yeah, you could say that they were a little threatened. Partly because of this massive success, the business world will never be the same. Customers now expect options to be able to be ordered online, and established giants like Gillette have been forced to accommodate and lower their prices while they're at it. Which is perhaps the best thing about the Dollar Shave Club. They disrupted an industry, forced it to adapt, and opened the doors for other entrepreneurs to do something similar. But when Unilever purchased the company, everything changed. The whole success of this company largely revolves around two factors: fun, relatable branding, and an affordable product that does the job. Dubin's charisma and creativity combined with the sticking it to the man storyline was what people fell in love with. But over the years, Dubin has become less involved, and in 2021, he completely stepped down from his role as CEO.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Today, the brand is really just another corporate giant with highly produced ads that sure are a little funny, but they don't have that original charm. I guess they still have the value for dollars thing going for them, but they're no longer that unique in this area either. Other companies have started finding ways to cut costs and deliver affordable products, and some of them are already doing it better, while also offering customers something they're increasingly seeking, which is ethical and sustainable solutions for their daily needs. A lot of you have asked that when we make these videos taking down a company that we provide you with an alternative or some sort of solution. So that is what this next section is going to be about. Hopefully you like it. Whether you are buying from Gillette, Dollar Shave Club, or Schick, or the dollar store, the reality is that the razors are trash when you're done with them. This is because you have the awkward combination of little pieces of metal wrapped in plastic with little bits of rubber on them and whatnot. And this has been an issue for the industry for a long time. In 2019, the EPA estimated that the states collectively chucks out about 2 billion cartridges every single year. Now, if some of you are shaving evangelists or nerds about this sort of thing, you would point out that Gillette just released a blade recycling program if you send them back to them, but something tells me that if we can't even figure out how to use a blue bin properly for our recycling, we're not going to be mailing back cartridges anytime soon. This push for a better option is one of the reasons why we've seen single-bladed or double-edged safety razors making a comeback. These razors are super old school, built to last and made of things like steel or chrome so that you're only ever replacing that one little stainless steel blade. Now, of course, I'm not going to lie to you. It is more of an upfront cost for something that is quality and made of metal, but you end up saving money in the long run by freeing yourself from that continuous need to buy overpriced cartridges. See, there's definitely a learning curve to safety razors, and they definitely aren't for everyone. I personally have sensitive skin, so for me, a multi-blade option is a necessity. I personally use a shaver from a company called Leaf Shave. So this is what it looks like. Now, I have been using this razor for a couple of years now already, and honestly, it's held up really well. See, look at how pretty it is. See, look at that, isn't it pretty? Full transparency, I have worked with Leaf Shave in the past and I have a referral code down below, so if you want to save a bit of money on a razor and support the channel, you can do that. But that's my bias. Leaf Shave sells these premium, built-to-last solid metal handles, which cost more than your typical plastic Dollar Shave Club handle, but the beauty of it is that you don't have to purchase those disposable plastic cartridges anymore. Instead, you can buy literally any stainless steel safety razor blade that you want. This means, in theory, if you wanted, you could buy 100 blades on Amazon for less than $10, which ends up being a mere 30 cents to replace all 3 blades. Compare that to the Dollar Shave Club's cheapest cartridges selling for over $2 a pop, and Leaf Shave is literally a sixth of the price for refills. Now, the reason why I love Leaf Shave specifically is because it still works as a functional, regular razor. You don't have to learn how to finesse a single blade around your face and deal with razor burn. This thing moves nice and it articulates around as you shave like normal. But one of the best parts is at the end, you just remove all the blades, you put them in a little tin can or something, and you put it in your standard recycling. But of course, this is not the only zero waste shaving option. You can go and do your own research and check it out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and it helped you in some way. Subscribe and we will see you in the next one.